Everybody, welcome to Chiller Night Live. I am Brian and I am back tonight for another episode where from 8 p.m. Eastern Time until 9 o'clock we'll talk about all things horror, science fiction, the paranormal. You pick a topic and we'll make a show out of it. How about that? Stephanie says, hey y'all. Hey Stephanie, thanks for joining us. There's Dee. Good evening, everyone. Good evening to you, Dee. Thank you. Thank you. Good to see you here tonight. Love the Frankenstein shirt, Stephanie says. Thank you very much. Much pretty. Up on my favorite time of the year. My most exhausting time of the year, but my favorite. That and Christmas. I'm a big Christmas guy too. Obviously Halloween, but tonight we will we'll see how the episode goes. I'll just say up front, I'm a little under the weather today, so we'll see if we can go the whole hour. we'll see. We'll try to keep it interesting and see where the evening takes us. Tonight voice is out of sync. Oh no. Let me try something here. Testing. I don't know if that works. Does that work? Does that help? I don't know. We'll see. See how that goes. I don't have any way of really looking at that real time. But tonight we have a topic. We do. Bullying in horror movies. Still delayed, Dee says. Huh. Stephanie says, I hear fine from here. You hear fine from... But is it... Do you see a delay? Do you notice a delay? That's what Dee is seeing. I don't know what would be causing that. Good now, she says. Oh, that's cool. Al says, hi, everyone. It's Chiller Night. Hey, Al. Thanks for joining us. Very glad you could join us. We're just getting started. Just getting started. And like I said, we have actually, Patty reminded me of this. I didn't remember from 2 weeks ago that there was an actual topic of horror, of bullying in horror movies, or bullying horror movies, however you want to describe the topic for tonight. SBC says, hello everybody. Hey SBC, thanks for joining us. PBR is giving you the wave. Hello PBR, thanks for joining us. What, like I said, SBC says, I still have a delay. Huh. That is odd. I don't know what would cause that. I don't. I can... Bonin says, hey, Chiller Night crew and Brian. Hope you get feeling better, Brian. If you gotta cut it short tonight, no one's gonna be mad. We understand you ain't feeling good and appreciate you being here. Thank you, Bonehead. Appreciate you being here. And yeah, we'll see if we can make the whole hour or not. I don't know. We have a few reports of the audio being delayed, so that's kind of weird. I don't know what to do or say about that. Whatever I do, whatever I say will obviously be delayed, but refresh your tab. It worked for me. Refresh my tab. All right, I'm refreshing Restream. Okay. Hopefully that works. Hopefully that works. John says it's 8 o'clock in Boston. It's 5 o'clock in San Francisco, and it's 2:35 in Parma and Berwyn. And it's that time, the right time for Chiller Night Live. Okay. All right. Took me a few there. This is Crozak the Grand, and now here's our host. Here's Bryan Hogue. Well, thank you, Crozak the Grand. John's giving a little wave there. Oh, you were saying refresh your tab for D saying that to SBC. I just clicked refresh, so hopefully I didn't turn anything off. I did refresh the browser. It's better now, SBC says. Oh, okay, cool. I'm getting you 5 times 5 here, Bryan. I hope that's good. I hope that means good. Of course, I'm usually behind in things anyway, so. All right, well, hopefully that helps. Hopefully that helps. All right, tonight, folks, bowling. Speaking of bowling, I want to mention that the Jack Shadow House of Terror bowling team is in need of an additional player. I posted this, I think it was last week when I posted this, and then I was told they got the extra player to make up the entire complement of the team. And then I was told, I think it was last night, if Daniel jumps on here, he can tell me yes or no to this, but he came on and said, nope, now the guy can't do it. So they're still low a person. I would actually do that myself if I weren't so darn busy leading up to the haunted house. So maybe next year, Daniel, if you're watching this later, or if I'm just talking to you later, it's probably more of a possibility. Maybe I'll jump on the team next year. We'll see. But I kind of like that style of shirts. I got everybody a Jack Shadow's House of Terror t-shirt. Kind of cool. It's got the logo on the front left, and then on the back it's, you know, like the big logo in the back. So, but I would kind of like, that was just, I told Daniel, just for now, I said, let's get you guys t-shirts just for now. Let's get you something quick. And but it'd be kind of cool to have like stuff like this, like I don't know. I would wear that, and I would join the team just for that. I mean, if it had the logo, the Jack Shadow's House of Terror logo on there. So, but if the point of this is, if you are, if you're in the area, you know, some of you pop up in here, in and out, that are actually resident viewers. If you are in the area, if you want to bowl, I don't even know if you got to be good at it. Give it a try. At least try, people, for crying out loud. I don't know. Get in touch with me or Daniel, and we'll get you set up. And they bowl every Wednesday night at the Seneca Lanes, which is in Seneca, Cranberry area, Venango County. John says, last week, September 6th, was the 100th anniversary of the premiere showing of The Phantom of the Opera, starring the man of 1,000 faces, Lon Chaney Sr. That's right. And you showed that to me in Messenger. That would have been a good one to show. Dee says, I like that one too. With the shirt. I think that would be cool to actually have the collar, the old, you know, the looking bowling shirt. That's what I want. Oh, the polo style. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I got that too. Stephanie says, I used to go bowling until COVID hit. Oh, is that right? I haven't been bowling for so long. I mean, decades. I'm trying to think if I've been bowling since I met Ava. And here in a couple weeks, it'll be our 18th year since we met. It was October 4th of 2007. It was a Thursday night. I remember that. It was in the House of Terror, or not the House of Terror, my Dark Domain haunted house where we met. But that's how long ago. That's how long ago it was. So it's been a while. But it says 5x5 is Marine Corps lingo for I'm hearing you loud and clear. Sorry about that, Brian. I forgot you were USA. Yeah. Okay. 5x5. SBC says, just to mention it, Saturday was my birthday. Ah, well, happy belated birthday to you, SBC. That's right. I haven't been on here for the week, so I may have missed birthdays last week. Anybody else have any birthdays? Well, wait, hey, whoa. I got to put up. Where is it? Boom. For SBC, happy birthday to you. Hope you had a good birthday. Hope you had a wonderful day, and you got to celebrate it with friends, family, loved ones. Or even if you were just by yourself, maybe you just watched a cool movie and had something neat to eat. So, regardless, hope it was happy for you. Al says, if I didn't live on the other end of the state, I would love to be on the team. Oh, that'd be neat. Al, I would like to be on that team myself. Yeah, this year's out of the question, but next year, maybe. All men's league, D says, I don't think so. There was nothing mentioned of that. I don't think it's an all men's league. That's a good question, though. I never even thought to ask. If Daniel comes on here tonight, I'll ask him. I'll ask him too while the show's going on. Maybe he'll see this and answer me. Let's see here. Daniel, is the bowling team an all men's team? Question mark. Okay. Now we will see if he sees that first of all, and we'll see if he gets back to us. So, let's see. Some folks saying happy birthday to SBC. Let's see. All right. Donna says, yeah, sorry about that, Brian. Sometimes I forget to think before I spit out something completely stupid. No, that's quite all right. There's a lot of terms that kind of, whether you're in a different branch, were or are in a different branch of the service, you do happen to hear and know. But that one, I didn't happen to know that one. So that's quite all right. That's quite all right. Not a problem. Hey, the haunted house is coming up. Jack Shadow's House of Terror. I'll tell you what, it's coming along very well. I'm very happy. I think things are going well. I'm going to tell you now, when it comes to ChillerNight Theater, I'm going to try like crazy to get this done. But I am in crunch time, and I'm in crunch time, and I'm dealing with some stuff that I'm not familiar with, and so it seems like there's a lot of that this year. Because I'm trying at the same time, I'm preparing for my regular haunted house, preparing for my display haunted house, which is intended to be beginning next month. After October finishes, it's set to be a year-round haunted attraction. So I'm working to make that happen, and it's kind of exhausting. It's kind of exhausting, but I think it's. D says, Brian, is that a tan line or did you injure your arm? Oh, yep, it's a Band-Aid. It's a Band-Aid. Bonus says, oh, I read that. John says, if you're going to do a horror-themed bowling party, you got to use leg bones for pins. Oh, there you go. And maybe a skull as a bowling ball. What do you think there, Bonehead? SBC says, Bowling Zombie, just a movie title idea. Bowling Zombie. Couldn't be any worse than some of the ones that we're going to be mentioning tonight for our theme, bowling in horror movies. Again, that's not the picture I want. That's the picture I want. Although that is pretty cool. I rigged something up on with AI for this one, so I could request other bowlers for the Jack Shadow House of Terror bowling team. John says, if you're going to do, oh, read that. Bonin says, thank you for your service, Brian, and to you as well, Bonin. Of course, USAF and the police department, and doing this show for us and having to put up with me. Anytime, anytime. Yes, and obviously, thank you for your service as well. Yeah, I've had a few jobs where I've had to wear a uniform. Let's see, here's Ava calling me. Hey, baby, I am live on the show. How's it going? That's okay. No, is everything all right? How'd your class go tonight? That's all right. All right, I'll see. All right, you drive safe. Love you. All right, bye. All right. Ava's class went well. She's taking a business class. So that's pretty cool. Maybe she can teach me some things. I'm on the creative end of things, but business-wise, not so much. Marketing and all that stuff. So that'd be nice. Hope she can teach me some stuff. But it says, hey Brian, I don't think using my skull would actually help you unless you're wanting a gutter ball. LLL. SBC says, greetings to Ava. Ah, yes, yes. Well, I had to pick it up because I was like, well, either she forgot that I'm doing this right now, which is easy if you're out of a routine going to a new class, or something was up and she needed something like right now, maybe even emergency. Hopefully, I'm glad that wasn't the case. Bonin says, thanks, Brian. I'm glad we're veterans. Yes, yes, absolutely. Please tell Miss Ava I said hello and good luck with the class. I will do that. Thank you. Thank you very much. So with ChillerNight Theater, hey, folks, every Saturday night on Stream TV, ChillerNight Theater begins at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. My intent is I am still going to try to figure out if I can get episodes before October, because once October hits, I can't even imagine this being a possibility. The episodes are wrote. Actually, SBC contributed to one of them. He did one of the episodes, and I thank him very much for that. It was really cool. So if I can't get them before, because I really am in crunch time here. I really am. I'm kind of pushing the boulder up the hill, and I can't stop. I just can't stop. But if I am able to maybe just get off to the side for a day and get some things filmed, if I can do that, I will. If I'm able to get that done. So we'll see. I wish I could tell you with utmost confidence that I will have new episodes for the Halloween season, and it kind of breaks my heart if I'm not able to fulfill that. But just know I'm trying like crazy to make everything work, and if we don't get them in time, they're going to get made. I can say that. I can say that. There's been too much work put into prepping them to this to be falling off on the wayside. So the episodes will get done. They might not get done before October, and that would be the shame of it, wouldn't it? Because that's why I wanted to do these to begin with. So, but I'll do what I can. I'll just simply put it out there that way. has nothing to do with want or intent. It all comes down to able, the ability to do it. So we will see. Brad says, went to the Erie Seawolves baseball game. It was their final game of the season. Not only they won, they're also once again Eastern League champions. Now that's awesome. Dun-dun-dun, but not as awesome. I always look for the segues here. And when the 1931 horror films Dracula and Frankenstein coming to the public domain in January of 2027. All right. Well, thank you for the info, Brad, and I'm glad that you had a good time at the Erie Seawolves baseball game. Sounds like you had a good time. Rankings are, according to Bonehead, Miss D, Miss Stephanie, and 3 is SBC. Congratulations, people. Very cool. I'm glad that was announced. I think that's pretty cool. That's neat. A neat thing to add to the show. SBC says, to Brad, Dracula and Frankenstein. I didn't know about that. LOL. Yeah. Huh. Brian says, hello everyone. Hey Brian, thanks for joining us. Brian's on Facebook. Anybody else on Facebook? John's on Facebook. Let's see. Bonin says, Miss D got number 1. Miss Stephanie got to number 2. You forgot to put the numbers in the text. Bonehead says. I caught on. I caught on. Let's see. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Crunch time is here. So if whether I'm doing Tuesday nights or not for the next couple weeks, we'll see. And that's the best I can give you. And I hate that. I hate that's, that I'm where I'm at. I wish I had an extra month. I really do. I wish I did. I'm just doing something a little different this year that I'm just. It's important to me that I get it done, and there's a lot of work that needs done, but yet I'm very happy. I'm very positive about things, especially within the last 2 nights. Not tonight, because I was kind of down and out today, but what's today? Tuesday. Sunday and Monday were very good days. I've been getting stuff done every day, but those last 2 days in particular were very, very encouraging. Got a lot of big stuff done. So we'll see how it goes. I might be able to get the ChillerNight Theater episodes done, and I hope so. But all I can tell you is I'm going to try like crazy to make that happen, because I really, really want those episodes done and running in October. I really do. Bonet says, thanks again, Brian, for saving my bacon. Well, it's kind of went in the order of things, But anytime. SPC says, an extra month, I need an extra decade. A little winky emoji there. Yeah, I hear you. Don't we all? Okay, I think I got all the announcements done. Brad says, you know what would be a good public domain horror movie for ChillerNight Tuesday night? The 1931 horror film Ever Heard of Svengali? Yes, I actually have, yeah. I don't know off the top of my head if that is is it a public domain? You say right here it's a public domain. All right. That would be cool. But it says, Brian, please don't tear yourself up about it. If you're here, we'll be here. If not, hopefully after the season is over, you'll be back to being here like always. Oh yeah. In fact, even on Tuesday nights, I'm going to be at the haunted house for our display on, where's my poster? Okay, you can see beside me, the days indicated in green are Monday through Thursday in October. Those days I'll be at the mall for the display haunt. Display haunt is simply no actors. There are things that will be interacting with you as you tour through, as you walk through the haunted house. Just no actors. In blue is the regular haunt. It has the actors. So that's Friday and Saturday nights, and the rest of the week is display haunts. If you want a little bit more of a, well, quite a lot more of a toned down, tamed, haunted experience, go to the display haunt. There's nobody's going to jump out at you. That doesn't mean you're not going to have a scare, a couple scares, but you know, it's not going to be as bad as the actual actors there. If you have kids, that might be an ideal time to take them through at that point. I don't really have plans to do the no scare haunt this year because I'd have to deactivate all the animatronic, or not all the it's not like an overabundance of animatronics and stuff, but there are triggers and things that are taking place in there, and I'd have to deactivate all that stuff. I'd have no time to do that. So Stephanie says, by the way, I saw the movie Werewolves with Lou Diamond Phillips and Frank Grillo. Oh, I saw that as well. Even I watched that. You know what? It's probably, when the heck did we see that? I couldn't tell you. I think it was within the last year. Did you like it? Oh, speaking of that, we watched, come on, where are you? We watched Weapons the other night. Ava and I did, and it was a fine movie. It was okay. I didn't not like it. I thought, I don't know. It didn't really grab at me, or Ava, but there was nothing wrong with the movie. But it just if you're looking for something a little different, check out Weapons. It had some creepy moments in it. I'll give it that. It had some nice creepy moments in it. So I enjoyed it. I can't say I disliked it. But how about you, Stephanie? Did you like Werewolves? Svengoolie, yep, he's fun to watch. LOL. Bonehead says, yeah, about the Svengali. I don't think this is quite the friendly comedic version of. Oh, Daniel did answer me here. D. So let's see. He says it is. It is a men's league. So I was not aware of that. Interesting. All right. Well, there's the answer for the bowling team. Brad says, I already saw it on the Internet Archive. Very interesting movie. Patty says, I hope to be there October 24th, saving up for the 5-hour trip up there. Are you coming up on the 24th? Wow, okay. There's our calendar. 24th. You let me know ahead of time. You let me know. So I know who you are. Because all I see is I know we converse back and forth quite a bit on Messenger, but we haven't met. So, and I just met Dee last year, and or Jack Shadow did. I'll put it that way. Who else have I met? Obviously Jason. Jason's from this area originally, so he's visited a few times. Daniel, of course, works in the haunted house. But let me know, Patty. Let me know. And I will. I'll actually on Messenger. I'll give you my cell number so you can call or text me. But let me know. Yeah, that's a long trip. That's a long trip. 24th. That's a Friday, isn't it? Yes, it is. That's a Friday. All right. Well, I hope you're coming up with some friends, and that's a long drive. So, well, thank you. It's about 15 minutes to walk through. Now, I is that, I want to put that out there. I don't want you to think it takes an hour to get through. It certainly does not. So, if that's something that you still want to do, or you can get with me on Messenger or whatnot, and and let me know. But thank you. But it says, I interacted with the neighbor's dog. A little bugger buried me in the yard again. Oh, no. Uh, Stephanie says, yes, I did, Brian. Oh, okay. Oh, I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Werewolves. Brad says, I highly recommend that you watch the movie I mentioned when you have a chance. Had the chance of time, Brian. All right, Brad. That sounds good. D says, got you. Thanks. You're very welcome. Bonin says, I don't want nothing grabbing me like the neighbor's dog, LOL. No. SBC says, while the topic is still on the haunt, I have started to set up my Halloween decorations every year on the day after my birthday. Really? That's cool. You have like a little tradition for when you do that. That's neat. D says, maybe we could do a meetup that night with ChillerNight folks. Popcorn, yellow stripe, smile, a ChillerNight haunt group, LOL. That'd be cool. That'd be cool. On a Friday night. On a Friday night. Trying to think. I'm so, I don't want to say stuck there because it's, I don't use the verbiage to make it sound negative, but I'm stuck at the haunt, and I wish if I knew you were coming, it, like D last year, I get to spend a few minutes there with her and her group. Yeah, that just seems like I feel bad if you're making a 5-hour trip, a one-way 5-hour trip. That if that would go quickly, so maybe we could think of something here in the meantime. While the topic is still on, let's see, but it says SBC. People seem to really like me around this time of year, and the word decoration gets mentioned a lot too. Yeah, I see a lot of people put up skulls, no doubt to honor Bonehead. This time of year too. That is weird that you mentioned that. Yes, but all right. So here we go. Here we go. Horror films with set in. Well, this one happens to say that wasn't exactly how I put it, but top 10 horror films set in bowling alleys. Now this is Sin, CIN is in cinema, sinpicker.com. So great. So here we go. Here's their top 10, their list, not mine, but the number, I think they have their list backwards. They go from number 1 to 10. I'll go 10 and then work my way to 1. All right. Bowling for Blood, 2006. A vampire uses a bowling alley as his hunting ground, preying on unsuspecting patrons. All right. Sure. Alley Cats, 1993. A group of cat burglars choose a bowling alley as their next target, only to find themselves in a deadly game of cat and mouse with the alley's owner, who has a dark secret. All right. Here we go. The next one is called The Last Frame from 2019, so somewhat current. A group of bowlers are forced to play a deadly game where each frame could be their last. The film uses the tension of bowling to heighten the horror. Interesting. Okay. All right. All right. Now here's one. Then I'll jump to the comments and we'll go back to it. Spare Me. That's the title. Spare Me. All right. That's 2017. After a tragic accident, the spirit of a bowler haunts the alley, seeking revenge on those who wronged him. This film blends psychological horror with the supernatural elements. I found that list too, Dee says. Bonin says, I wish I could be up there and get to meet everyone. It's a shame we're all over the place and planet, LOL. Worldwide show, Brian, eh? Yes, that it is. It would be kind of cool. I remember years ago, after the haunts, it'd be late, like on a Saturday night, we'd all go down and visit a local, bar or something, and just hang out for a while. So that was kind of fun. That's been a while though since we've done that. Now that we've moved where we live now, we don't really do that because there's really no places around here. Now, when we go to Venango County, I don't do that because it takes me 30 miles to drive back home, and I'm certainly not going to do that with anything I shouldn't have in my system. So, the bowling horror list ought to be something. Yeah. We've got some more to go, too. Brad says, here's another public domain horror film for ChillerNight. Tuesday night movie. Have you ever heard of the 1932 horror film The Monster Walks? I have. I have heard of that one, yes. Yes, and I have a feeling once we get on with the roll of things, that could very well show up. What I'm thinking of doing is having like a limited run, maybe every year, where Jack Shadow does a brief, limited set of shows, obviously around Halloween. And then my character, would be hosting the rest of the year. It's hard for me to imagine doing that right now, just because like I seem to have a lot of plate spinning, but I once the dust settles, like after October, I'm like in hibernation mode. So I'm not overly enthused to go just take on new projects and stuff, but it usually takes me a couple months because I exhaust myself from like late spring until the end of October, and then by November, December, I tell Ava, wake me up for Thanksgiving and Christmas. I gotta work, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Any one of you visiting Oktoberfest this year? I am not, SBC, although I would love to. I think that would be great. Local watering hole, Dee says. That'd be cool. Right beside the mall is a Holiday Inn Express. Now, I don't know. I'd have to see if they have a bar there to be able to have some drinks and to kind of just socialize And then you wouldn't have to drive anywhere. People would stay right there. It's right beside the Cranberry Mall. So, um, basically. Oh, that'd be kind of fun, if we could get enough people to meet. And then that way, if you are making a 5-hour trip, like Patty, at least, we could all socialize and you wouldn't have to head back that same day. Bonus says, thanks, Brian and ChillerNight crew. I got some ideas for new movies to watch about bowling horror. They might be pretty interesting to watch. SBC says, The X-Files, Season 4, Episode 22. Fright Night 2, SBC says. Good idea, Brian. Pee-wee's Big Adventure, Bonehead says. Are these you guys, are these bowling movies or episodes? Also last week, John says, was the birthday of Mr. Jeffrey Combs. Oh, okay. I recognize that. The acting credits include Dr. Mordred, The Frighteners, Star Trek Deep Space Nine, The Guyver, Transformers Prime, and of course his performance as Edgar Allan Poe and Herbert West. Fun fact, one of his earliest appearances was in the comedy sci-fi movie The Man with Two Brains. Oh, okay. Very good, very good. D says, SBCs, did you like Fright Night 2? I couldn't get into it. The original Fright Night 2? I don't know if they did I know they did a remake of Fright Night, and I've not seen the remake. But did they do a remake of Fright Night 2, or are you referring to the original? And I loved the original Fright Night from the 80s. I saw Fright Night 2, didn't have the same spark by any means. So, but I didn't see any of the remakes. SBC says the first one was better. Bonus says, tonight would be a great night to watch The Shining. I'm in the mood for some Jack Nicholson, not Daniels. Okay. D says, hands down, one of my favorites. The first one. Okay, yeah. I agree. I really, really enjoy that movie. All right, so we are now on, number 6. Okay. Pin Pals. P-I-N. Pals, as in. 2010, a comedic horror where a group of friends find themselves trapped in a bowling alley with a demonically possessed pin setter. Their attempts to escape are both hilarious and terrifying. This is not unexpected for a night with the topic of bowling horror movies. The Alley, 2009. A documentary crew investigates paranormal activity at a bowling alley known for its mysterious disappearances. What they uncover is far more sinister than they could have imagined. All right, the next one, Strike of Fear from 2015. A haunted bowling alley becomes the stage for a terrifying night when a group of amateur bowlers unwittingly awaken an ancient evil. All right. The film delves into the history of the alley and its dark past. Ooh, now that one might be worth watching just for that. Wasn't aware. Okay, now we've got 3 more to go out of their list of 10. The Bowling Alley Massacre from 1984. So these bowling movies have been going on for a while. The classic slasher film follows a killer who targets a group of teenagers. This sounds so stupid. At a bowling alley during a late night party. The film captures the essence of 80s horror with its campy style. No, and over-the-edge top kills. All right, the Bowling Alley Massacre, folks. And number 2, Alley of the Dead, 2012. In this chilling tale, a group of friends discovers that the local bowling alley is haunted by the spirits of former bowlers who met untimely ends. Their night of fun turns into a fight for survival as they confront their the ghostly presence. Okay. Uh, I'm just surprised there's 10 movies. There's more, I'm sure. I have no doubt. But at least there's 10 in this list. All right, now here's one. All right, it's called Gutter Ball from 2008. I think that's been mentioned. If it hasn't, it was mentioned on the comments on Facebook when I posted about tonight's topic from Jason. Oh, Jason couldn't be here tonight because his is it the cornhole started back up or duck pins or something? I think he said it was cornhole that starts back up again. So he won't be able to be here tonight. But we miss you, Jason, if you're watching this at a later time. But the description for Gutter Ball from 2008, a group of friends reunite for a bowling night. But their reunion turns deadly when a mysterious figure begins to pick them off, one by one. The film explores themes of guilt, revenge, and the supernatural. All right. Sure, it does a good job covering all that. Exploring those themes. All right, so let's go back to the comments. Hey, folks, I did my part here. I had a picture here tonight. I had a list. Yeah. And I wouldn't have done any of this if Patty hadn't have reminded me. I happened to read her message. I didn't know. I forgot about the topic for tonight. So it was about a couple weeks ago. But I appreciate her doing that. I don't always remember. Boone says, Brian, disregard any comments I make. I'm out there further than I've ever sent any space shuttle or rocket tonight. That's all right. That sounds like a nice place to be sometimes. Patty says, Fright Night #1 original was great. I wholeheartedly agree. Brad says, the movie I mentioned may be an hour long, but the movie is also highly recommended. That's all right. A lot of those older ones are only like an hour and 10 minutes long. So that's cool, though. I don't have a problem playing those on ChillerNight theaters. Bonin says, I saw the movie Pin, but it wasn't about bowling. Saw it on Newcastle After Dark. Yawning, that's not a good sign. The host is never supposed to yawn, but I did it anyways. Because I can't just say, well, go to commercial. Al says, wow, I never thought there'd be any bowling horror movies. Who knew? Yeah, no, you and me both. Zombies takes place in a bowling alley, Patty says. oh, man. Why not? Why not? Bonin says, yep, you're right, Al. I'm amazed myself all these years. They actually sound really interesting. Got to check them out. D says, short film 2025, Bowling Alley of Death. Oh my gosh. Wow. Who would think of bowling and like say, hey, you know what that would go good with? Horror movies. I don't know. This episode here tonight has really opened my eyes and mind to other possibilities and where horror movies can branch off. Conan says, please say a big hello to our favorite spider, Miss Glamfangs. Miss you, Glammy. Yes! Hello to Miss Glamfangs. We miss you and hope we can all reunite. Dominic Johnson would love to see more ChillerNight movies, but don't overwork yourself. Hope you feel better. Thank you, Dominic. I appreciate that. Dominic says, will you be doing live streams on Tuesdays from the haunted house during October? Sorry if you already answered that. No, that's all right. I hadn't answered that tonight, so because I have not given a definitive answer to that. To be honest with you, because I really don't know. I'm going to try to do that. if I can have somebody else out there with me, then we'll see. But if I do that, I don't know. I might have to start at 7 because I close up at 8. Because I don't foresee having lines of people to a display haunt on a Tuesday night. I just don't foresee that. If I did, that'd be great. That'd be outstanding. So I guess the only way I could do it, because I don't want to spend an hour and then drive home at 9 from the store after that. So I might do that, Dominic, to answer your question. I guess I'm taking a long time to get there, aren't I? If I do it, I'd probably do it like 7 to 8. I'm guessing, but as time gets a little closer and I get a little bit of a feel of what those display haunt nights are going to be like, I can give a better answer to that. And but right now, it's just it's an idea. It's just in that conceptual stage right now, so I can't make any definitive plans here, unfortunately. But I will let you guys know as soon as I can about that. But that's a neat idea. I hope I'm able to do that. Bonin says, Brian, a big thank you to you. You made it through the show. You got less than 10 minutes to go. Congratulations, and thanks again, Brian. Oh, yeah. Well, thank you. Thank you for thanking me. But you are welcome. Let's see. Stephanie says, I can honestly say there was a restaurant on the bowling alley, and they have the good chili cheese fries. Where at Seneca Lanes? Are you talking about somewhere? Like, are you talking about your? I'm trying to think of where you. Are you from Ohio? I try to remember where everyone's from, but sometimes it's hard for me to recall. Bonin says, "Oh, I'm hungry now, Miss Stephanie. That sounds so good to eat right now." Yes. Brad says, last one for public domain horror film. Ever hear of the 1932 horror films or horror film freaks? Yes, I have. Probably, I don't necessarily see doing that one on ChillerNight Theater. But yeah, I've heard of it. I mean, it certainly has a like a cult following, its own little following there. SBC Disco Haunt. I like the display haunt, but with the disco music. Sure. Yeah, Disco Haunt. But it says, didn't Todd Browning direct Freaks? Anybody know? Very well could have. We vets got to stick together, Brian. Absolutely, Bonehead. Absolutely. Yes, Freaks, 1932 SBC. Yeah. Brian says, and he says, I've heard it's a very strange movie. Yes. I've never seen it. I've seen bits of it, and I've certainly heard a lot about it. I don't know what to make of it. I agree. Freaks is not the kind of movie for ChillerNight. Yeah, I hear the folks that were in it, I have no way of knowing this. I don't know if I hear that they all were super friendly and enjoyed and had a great time being in it because they were entertainers. A lot of them were entertainers. For real, that's what they did. So they enjoyed the fact that they were in a movie. I don't know that for fact. I heard that. But it's hard for me to get over the fact that there are people that are, so blatantly exploited for entertainment's sake. Um, but we are talking about a different time, a different era by far. Um, but would I show it on ChillerNight Theater? I don't see that happening. Not saying, I'm not discouraging you from watching it in the privacy of your own home. You're all adults. You can do what you want to do. But it says, thanks, SBC. I wasn't sure, but I figured somebody in the ChillerNight crew would know. Patty says, missed the show. Stay safe all. Oh, Patty, well, you too. You as well. You have a good night. Brad said, and this was before the code of 1933. Bunny says, yeah, SBC, it's an odd one, but being desensitized nowadays, it's not that shocking to see. D says, SBC, Dancing Fool plays in my head when I think of Disco Haunt, LOL. SBC says, agree, it's a good movie. It's a bonehead. Yep. Yeah, I can't say whether it's a good movie or bad movie. Just the idea of it is, yeah, for a ChillerNight Theater episode, I don't see that. That's my initial thought. I try to keep an open mind to anything. If it has artistic value, maybe historical or artistic value that can actually be, well presented. That might, I don't know. I haven't even really thought about it, to be honest with you. But it says the real body horror with using real people was eye-opening, but definitely not for ChillerNight Theater viewing. That's my that's my initial thought. Yeah. Yeah. Folks, it is 8:58. I made it. I did it. So, Brad says, maybe the movie is too strange for ChillerNight standards. It might be. Yeah, like I say, I've never actually watched it. I'm well aware of it, and I know of it, seen clips of it and stuff. I'm aware of what takes place in the movie. But yeah, I agree, Brad. Probably not. SBC says, not everyone. No, night everyone. Stay healthy and imagine Manos using his magic hands to roll the ball. Oh, that's right. Al says, good night, everyone. Bunny says, Brian, please take my advice and never show that movie on your show. It's a family show, after all. Yes, it is. Brad says, give it a try, Brian. Two conflicting bits of advice there, but like I said, everybody, yeah, you do what you want. Do what you want. Patty says, next week, Christmas horror without Krampus. Is that next week? That's right. Yeah, you mentioned that to me. Was that in a message? A messenger message? Christmas movies without Krampus. I better write that down. I will forget because this is my crunch time of the year, so this is so bad for me to try to remember things. All right. We will do that if I have a show next week. Now, again, don't be surprised. You can be disappointed because I will too, but don't be surprised if I just, put a message out there saying, folks, I am sorry, but I am in crunch time and I just can't do it. There's that possibility. So that's just, it comes with this time of the year for me, unfortunately. So, but we will get through this. We will get through this. And after this year, it won't be like this anymore. Because this is it. The boulder that's getting pushed up the hill this year, it finally gets to set up there. I don't have to do this again. All I got to do at this point is modify little things here and there, but I never have to recreate this whole thing. Night Yins D says, yes. Stay safe and quote red green, but it says, keep your sticks on the ice. We're all in this together. SBC says, car horror movies. Well, maybe the week after that then, SBC. Yeah. Let's see. Bonin says, yes, Brian, get well wishes to you, and thanks again for doing the show tonight. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you, and thank all of you, and for joining me and each other tonight for Chiller Night Live. So, have a good night, have a good Chiller Night, and we will possibly see